enforcement doing its job, homeless people camping out in the cold, the two don't always mix, as was the case this week in El Paso County with dozens of homeless campers ordered to move on just a few days before Christmas. KRDO News Channel 13's Scott Harrison is live tonight near the intersection of 31st Street and Colorado Avenue, a popular but illegal camping spot for the homeless. Scott, what happens to those folks now?
Well, Heather, most of those campers are gone now, but a few are still hanging on. Like the dwelling you see behind us there, we know there's one and maybe two people in there tonight, but who knows how long they'll be able to stay there. This is all happening as a new report comes out ranking Colorado's homeless population as the 10th highest in the nation. Paul FULKERSON is a disabled Marine veteran. He occasionally brings food and clothing to the homeless camping in a well-known spot between Colorado Springs and Manitou. This week, though, they were gone, apparently evicted by authorities.
I wanted to let everybody know that there are people out here that are suffering just like everybody else is, and to force them to leave just right before Christmas is just, it's heartless.
According to this camper, who declined to tell us her name, the eviction started with authorities making a health and welfare check on another camper.
It was two sheriffs and a bunch of freaking cops, actually. I know that they came to check on somebody earlier that day. And then when the sheriff came back later that day, she posted a note and telling everybody, get out of your tent now.
The Centers for Disease Control recommend that authorities avoid breaking up homeless camps during the pandemic because campers help contain the virus by spreading out.
That is technically true.
Christy Milligan is executive director of West Side Cares, a nearby social service agency that helps the homeless.
As long as there are shelter beds available, it is totally acceptable to break up a camp from a legal perspective. Whether or not it is morally the right thing to do during these times with the coronavirus and in the freezing cold is another question entirely.
And despite the area's endless cycle of homeless camps setting up, being shut down, and occupied again, Milligan was initially surprised by Colorado's number 10 ranking for largest homeless populations, a new report by Porch.com, an online home improvement firm. Local homeless advocacy groups tell us that there are services and help available to homeless people if they choose to take advantage of them. But for a variety of reasons, many of them don't.
And it is our job as service providers and as the broader community to let them know that, in fact, their community does care about them. We do want to see them do well, and that is only done through relationship.
Unfortunately, the relationship between the homeless and some of the business community remains somewhat strained. Tonight, we heard from several business owners in this area who say that although they sympathize with the homeless and their plight, they're tired of dealing with issues such as vandalism, trash, and aggressive panhandling even by some of these campers. We are live in Colorado Springs. Scott Harrison, KRDO News Channel 13.